Today we're going to be talking about how Alexio Thomas went from a $30 account to $2,700 profit in 3 weeks. What's going on, guys? My name is Jeffrey Rodriguez and welcome to another video. This is going to be a little bit different style of a video than I normally post. This is a recording of a Q&A call that I did with one of my premium members. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to trade using technical analysis and price action and all kind of other Forex related stuff, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell icon so you don't miss anything. Okay, guys, so we'll go ahead and get started. This is going to be a live Q&A call with Alexio and myself. If you don't know who Alexio is, probably unlikely because he's like in the group every single day posting mad profits. So this call is just going to be a little bit about his strategy and also try to get a little bit of insight and how he trades himself. So Alexio, if you're ready, man, we can go ahead and begin.
Yeah, man, let's get it, man.
Okay, cool. So where are you from, man?
Man, I'm from a small town in northwest Louisiana called Shreveport.
No way. I'm from Louisiana too, man. I didn't know that.
Oh, man, birds of a feather.
Yeah, I'm from Hammond, so not too far. Well, a little ways away, but not too far. So, what do you do right now, man?
Right now, I'm a civil engineer, actually a field engineer, but I got a degree in civil engineering from Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So I'm a field engineer for an oil company right now.
Cool. And how long you been doing that for?
I've been doing that about half a year now.
Sweet. So what made you get into trading?
It started with the stock market, actually. I took a few marketing classes and economic classes back in school because it was part of the curriculum. So I was always interested in the idea of having money compound, using interest and stuff like that. Anything to get ahead, using money as a tool. I was always fascinated by those things. So I started with the stock market. I was a long-term trader. I would buy positions and just hold them and hope for the best. And recently, most recently, maybe within the last few months of 2018, I've started swing trading. I've learned about swing trading in the stock market. And I was taking that route, and then I guess I stumbled across Jeffrey somewhere. I'm still trying to hunt that down where I found you, man.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you that question, man. I was just curious, you know, how did you come across me? But I guess it's somewhere is online, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, something.
Yeah, man. More than likely, it had to be YouTube because, like, I was hard at it, bro. Being in the oil field, when we actually doing any work, it's a lot of downtime, maybe 3 or 4 hours at a time. So I was using that time to get ahead because I always believed in what you do in your free time. That's what really matters in life because you can build somebody else's dream, but are you actually taking time out to build your dream?
Exactly, man. That's so true. So you said that you've been looking into swing trading a little bit, but you're primarily a scalper right now?
Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, it came to me. I didn't come to scalping. It kind of found me or whatever. It works best for me.
Yeah, I hear you, man. And that's the thing with trading too. And I think you're starting to realize that now that, you know, you can go into it thinking that, oh, I'm going to be a swing trader because, you know, I only got limited amount of time since I'm in the oil field. But, you know, that easily can change whenever you get in the market and then you find yourself being able to see scalping positions easier than a swing trade, you know?
Right.
So I think the most common question that I got that everybody has for you would be, what time frame do you analyze the charts on whenever you're looking at them?
I would say that I'm looking at the charts. I start out on pretty much any other trade. I start out on the weekly or monthly. Sometimes in extreme cases when I just can't see any clarity in market direction, I start out on that level. But I just work my way down, and maybe I'll say in any given instance, and when the market is just very volatile, I'll start out at the 4-hour mark and I'll work my way down from there. And I usually don't go below the 15. People see a lot of my screenshots. They're 15-minute charts, and they want to know, just like you said, which chart do I use or whatever. And that's where I end up at. When I'm making my entries, it's on the 15-minute mark, but I'm making my decisions based off of previous confirmations from higher time frames.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that's what I want to make sure that a lot of people understand from this call today. So everybody that's on here, make sure that you understand what he said there. So he always starts with the higher time frame. So whether that be the weekly, the daily, the monthly, whatever he could see clear direction on. So is the market going to go up or down on that time frame? That isn't the time frame that he's entering on. That's just where he's framing his trade idea. So a lot of people forget that, before you enter a trade, you have to frame your idea, determine your direction, wait for the confirmation, then place your entry. So whenever you're scalping, there's not much of a difference versus scalping, day trading, and swing trading. It's just the time frames that you're framing the trade on, looking for the confirmation on, and then looking for the entry on. So that's actually, what you explained in a sense was, you start with the 4 hour and then you work your way down and eventually place your entries on the 15-minute, which is, I'm sure, where you're looking for that break of structure or the confirmation to trade into a ICT bullish or bearish order block or any of that stuff. So do you use those concepts?
Yeah, I'm using it's like I have like a trading salad going on right now. I'm just trying to find the best ingredients, man, that please my appetite, man.
I hear you, man. Yeah, and that's a lot of what trading is. There's so many different terms and concepts and whatnot that you can come across. But the key thing to realize is understanding all the basics and the foundation, your structure, your support, your resistance, market direction, all of those things. And once you get the confirmation for what you're looking for in terms of a higher time frame, then you just move down to the lower time frames and start going from there. So let's go ahead. And the other question that I had was, what time frame do you place your entries on? But he just said that he mainly uses the 15-minute. Do you ever go to a 5-minute, or do you always stay pretty much on a 15-minute?
Sometimes I dip down into the 5 minute, but it's like I said, when I usually trade, it's during high volume periods, but so it makes the 5 minute kind of crazy, chaotic and stuff at times. If it's moving slow on the 15 and the higher time frames, then I go in to see what's going on. But besides that, if it's making pretty good movement on those higher time frames, I don't feel the need to go any lower because it's gonna pretty much throw me off.
Exactly. So when did you actually start trading?
Trading as far as the forex or
Yeah, like Forex itself. I know you started with the stocks, but when did you really, get into Forex?
I'll say probably what month is it? It's June. I'll say mid-May. I was probably on my second paycheck. I was working on my second paycheck. I did a demo account. I started with a demo account on Onada, or however you pronounce it, the O word broker.
Yeah, Oanda.
Yeah, I started with them, and I was just playing around with some guys at work. I was like, man, look at this, man. You can jump in. I was like, it's play money, but look at the possibilities. That's what I was showing them. So then I was like, you know what? I started making some awkward trades just because I thought I had it figured out just by looking at it from the
Right.
surface. So then, like I say, I actually started paying attention to the demo account. Then I started looking up different things, the terms. That's why I began with the vocabulary, because it's like Forex is just like any new type of skill. Like you said, it's a skill set. It's a language. First, you got to learn. If you listen to somebody that's speaking a different language, it might sound like a bunch of jibber jabber. And then you start picking up on things, and you learn it, and then you can speak it yourself, and that's when you know that you've mastered it.
Exactly. That's so true, man. Yeah, it's just like anything else. It's riding a bike, learning a new language, whatever you compare it to, there's always that foundation that you have to develop first, whether that, with Forex, it's mainly learning the terminology and the lingo. And once you get all that down, it's just a matter of actually applying those things and seeing them in the charts and then figuring out how you're going to react to them. So since you joined, when did you join the Premium Signal Group? You started probably in May, huh? Had to be.
Yeah, it's probably the second week in May.
Okay. So how much profit have you made since starting in May?
Man, I was trying to put a number on it, like a percentage, and I say probably around, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but probably 200 or more percent.
Yeah. So, and that's what you were saying in the chat group, that you pretty much started with like 30 or $40 or something and had made close to 2,700 profit or so in 3 weeks, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And that just goes to show you that it really just comes down to the person. Wouldn't you agree that it's definitely, it's once you understand the stuff, it really just comes down to how the person reacts? Because some people, you know, they want to wait for more confirmation. Like for me, for example, you know, I always wait for a little bit extra confirmation before I get in, which causes me sometimes to miss a little bit of the move. I'm okay with that. And you know, like you can go hop in and out the market, scalp a quick move here and there. And then, you know, between making a couple moves, rack up 20 or 30 pips and be done for the day. So it's all about finding what works for you. So I had a question from me. I'm going to go ahead and answer real quick. I forgot who asked it, but they said, I'd like to know if the order blocks can be used on smaller time frames and some examples in the charts. Yes, the order blocks can be used on the smaller time frames. I'll go ahead and I'll link the video in the chat group where I go over the order blocks, but it looks the same on any time frame. All you're looking for a bullish order block is that bearish candle before the bullish candle breaks it, and bearish order block, you're going to be looking for the opposite. So again, I'll link that video in the chat group, but yes, bullish and bearish order blocks can be used on any time frame, monthly down to a 1 minute time frame. Now, Alexio, do you use any type of indicators on your chart, or do you pretty much trade naked price action too?
I've learned how to use the indicators just to get an understanding of the concept in case of I want to switch something up. If something's not working, you know, switch it. But if not, then let it go. So at certain times when I just can't, what I'm using at that time is not working, then I might throw in an indicator or something like that. So I've learned how to use different ones like the stochastic and stuff like that, the Fibonacci levels. But it's just, man, it's a lot of clutter on my screen, man. I'm nice and neat with the chart marks, man, with the markup, man, chart art.
Yeah, man, I feel you. So would you agree, though, it's definitely those indicators do have an impact on your trading, but it really comes down to, at the end of the day, analyzing from a higher time frame, right?
Oh yeah, man, because if you don't know how to use the indicators, or if you just use one indicator, it'll more than likely throw you off, man. But as far as the basics, the fundamentals, you'll never go wrong.
Right. So do you have a formula that you follow to set your take profits, or do you kind of just set them at, you know, each swing high or low on the 15-minute time frame?
Yeah, I kind of I wouldn't say it's a formula, maybe just a like I said, confirmation that I look for. I look at the neck of maybe a head and shoulder pattern or something like that, and then I just look at the distance and I say, from just looking at the market and studying it, I put a lot of chart time in. That's what people got to understand. Like, you don't see this stuff unless you practice it, man. What's the use of having all this knowledge if you're not studying it? You know, it's just gonna go to waste.
Exactly.
So like, just from doing all this chart time and studying these charts, man, with all this free time that I do have while I'm at work and in my off days, then I kind of pick up on different patterns and stuff like that. So I kind of got like a ballpark figure, a range like that. Then I'll add an indicator in just to be even more specific, close to the target or whatever, to just kind of confirm that entry.
I got you. So you'll just, again, look for, you know, a few things maybe to line up around a certain level, and that'll be pretty much where you're going to exit the trade at. So if you have, you know, a fib level or something lining up with maybe a support or resistance that aligns around the same level, that's where you'll set your take profit. And maybe if an indicator aligns with that as well.
Right, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So is there a trading plan or anything that you're following right now, or is it just mainly, you know, kind of like in your head?
Man, I'm it's like it's all over the place, man. It's chaotic, but it's beautiful. The way I see it is beautiful, but explaining it, I'll be all over the field with it. I really wouldn't know where to start. It's just I tried to write some stuff down, but then like when I'm explaining it to someone, I try to pick a starting point and go from there. But as far as when I'm actually like live and doing what I do, it's like, man, just not follow my gut because I don't use any emotions in it. That's maybe how I profit so much. I don't like a win is a win, a loss is a loss. I just keep going. I'm focused on the next move or whatever. And
Exactly.
if I miss a move, I don't care because it's like so many moves to be made throughout the day or throughout the week or whenever, whatever time frame you're looking towards setting your goals for that
Yeah, man.
so I just like I said, if I don't see certain confirmations or whatever, like you said, 2 or 3 confirmations, just like indicating that this is a for sure, this a strong buy or a strong sell, then I'll do something else with that time. I'll study some more charts or something like that, or find a confirmation in another chart.
Right. That's a really good point, man. So, let me see. I'm just reviewing these questions real quick.
Yeah, you got to let the trade come to you, man. You can't rush it or anything, or you'll end up playing yourself.
Yeah, man. No, that's something that a lot of people struggle with, especially as a new trader. So to see where you're at right now and that you only started, a, a couple of weeks ago, I mean, this process, it does not work like that for everybody, but it definitely does work like that for some people. And it's the people that put in the work. You know what I mean? The people that put in the work and put forth the effort to learn this stuff are the ones that are eventually going to see the rewards, because you're picking up on the things that you need to be picking up on, which are no emotions when you're trading. You want to make sure that you're completely emotionless, whether we win or whether we lose. We executed the trade on things that we were looking for in the market, and it was all based off a higher time frame. So you understand, sometimes you'll be right, sometimes you'll be wrong. As long as your wins are always bigger than your losses, you should have nothing to worry about.
Right.
So I did want to um sorry, I was just trying to see. I had a couple questions that were the same on here. So I think for the questions that I had, they're pretty much wrapped up now. So if anybody has any questions for Alexio, if you got a couple more minutes, man, could you stick around and answer a few questions if anybody has any?
Yeah, man, I got a few minutes on hand right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, go ahead and fire those away in the chat box, and we'll hang out for a couple more minutes and get those answered. But real quick, while we wait for those, Alexio, I do want to thank you, man. I really appreciate you taking the time out to join us and also share all this with us. It feels really good to know that, the things that I've been studying and working on, and then decided to go out there and start trying to, like, I don't want to say teach, because I don't necessarily consider myself a teacher, but just somebody trying to help other traders really like grasp this, and not trying to, you know, get somebody to join, a
Yeah,
company or whatever the case may be. Forex just has such a crazy name that it's getting for itself. So many people think that they have to be in a network marketing industry to trade Forex, but it's a skill set in itself. And I'm really glad to be able to share that skill set with you guys. Let's see. Okay, so Arnold said, have you studied ICT at all, Alexio?
Inner Circle Trader. I looked up the YouTube channel and also the Twitter page of that user or whatever. And yeah, I've made it halfway through some of the videos. It's like he's kind of monotone, so it kind of I'll go and open something I can read instead sometimes. But as far as the basic concepts and everything like that, I try to get the subject points that he's talking about. I won't leave the video until I at least understand what he's talking about and see a visual representation.
Right. Yeah, no, that's something that a lot of people say about ICT. He's a very mellow, very monotone guy, but his content and his material is 100%, good stuff. It just takes sitting through it to actually watch it. So let's see. Caesar said, what is your favorite pair to trade, and what session do you like to trade the most?
Favorite pair, I would say it's crazy, but I would say gold. Gold is it's like we have a love-hate relationship I have with gold because it treats me right sometimes, but if you just put too much trust into it, I guess it'll burn you. And what was the other part of that question?
And what session do you like to trade the most?
I would say uh probably London around 4 a.m. Central Time Zone time. London, I pretty much like London, and then but what I've learned is pretty much my schedule that I get into the market and actually dive into it would be around 7 a.m. between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. because what I've learned is that the overall the forex market, it kind of mimics the New York market. So that's when it's very the liquidity is very high during those times, and I try to make some good trades during then if I see any good setups.
Yeah, man. Sometimes I wish I was still back in Louisiana just for the time difference, because being on the West Coast now, I gotta waking up for New York session. I got to get up at 4 a.m. versus there it was 6 a.m. and it was no big deal. That's just a normal day waking up at 6, but waking up at 4 a.m. is a little bit of an adjustment. So I find myself trading London sessions so much, man. But you're so right when you say that 7 a.m. time, there's so much liquidity in the market. And that's because, you got the stock market open. So you got a lot of people that are, buying and exchanging currencies at that time. You got people exchanging euro to, buy US dollar if they want to, buy stock or whatever the case may be. But there's so much money being poured into the market during New York session. If you're in a time zone where you could trade that, it is, you see beautiful setups, and they could be quick, simple, profitable, low risk.
Yeah, man. Usually when I am in the London session, it's usually because I'm working overnight shift, so I'm already awake. But if I'm on one of my off days, I don't really try to get up that early unless my body's still in that rhythm.
Gotcha. I think this is one of the most important questions I can ask you, man. How many hours a week do you spend on the charts?
Woo, I spend probably, man, as much as somebody spend at a part-time job, man. And I'm seeing like part-time job profits, man, right now. What people make at a part-time job, that's what I'm making. It's like sacrifice, like I said earlier in the group, man. And I say all the time when it comes across my mind, sacrifice comes before success, even in the dictionary. I spend that time, I invest that time into learning my craft or learning this skill set because I know the reward is going to be whatever I want to put up a price on, whatever, it's going to be that. And, it feels good to learn something new. It's a learning curve. Everything new got a learning curve. And it's a headache, but once you get over that, and if you already accept that and you're willing to endure that, then, man, the possibilities on the other side of that is endless, bro. That's how I look at it, and that's how I take it.
That's so true, man. And that's what I want a lot of people to realize, whenever they listen to this call. I want them to be able to understand that, the results come with what you put in. And if you're somebody who's willing to work an extra job and, work an extra job to pay the bills while still learning how to understand this whole Forex thing, which is, again, like we talked about, is basically a new language. You have to learn all that after being tired from coming home from working all night or oil field, like all that stuff. And, a lot of people, may have it better than you where they don't even have to work yet, or, different situations, but it's that hustle and it's that real grind that's going to get you, to where you want to go. And, I think that is the main reason exactly why you're seeing the results that you're seeing now. And, it's like you said, you can't give up if you're trying to figure something out. I've seen so many people over the past 4 years, friends, family, literally multiple people through social media that come and go talking about they want to learn how to trade and all this stuff. I try to teach them to trade, and they fall off. They stop. It's that discipline, man. A lot of people get unmotivated, and this is just a reminder for everybody: stay motivated, put the time in the charts, because you can actually make shit happen.
Yeah, man. Forex, man, like I say too, man, Forex, it's simple, man. It's like learning your ABCs. Before you can learn that, you had to learn how to speak or whatever. But it's like, man, once you learn that crap, man, it's easy. It gets easy. Like, you start seeing these formations. That's why people want me to show my charts and stuff. And I had to go back and mark it up where they can understand it or break it down, because I see it out a different angle or whatever than other people are seeing it, because I'm putting in that time and I'm getting familiar with it, man. It's like a relationship, man. You got to put in the time and the energy and the effort, and it's going to reward you, just like a relationship with. If you don't put any time and effort, you won't want. Who wants to be in something that you're not putting time in? It's not. You don't have that happy feeling. it's like, oh, why am I doing this? You got to stay focused. You got to set some goals and stuff. You got to stay focused, and for it's going to definitely help you reach them goals. And I'm not saying just by monetary, but knowledge, man. This is stuff that people can't take from you.
Exactly.
You can lose everything, but as long as you have that knowledge, you can get it out. You can always get it back tenfold.
Yep. Facts, man. Facts. So just two more questions, man, and then we'll let you get out of here. So Arnold said, what percent do you normally use? So I guess he's talking about risk management. What percentage of risk management do you normally use?
As far as like the risk reward ratio.
Well, I think he's asking whenever you place a trade. So like if you place a trade, you know, how much risk are you putting on your account? If you have $1,000 account, are you risking maybe, you know, are you willing to lose $100 to make, you know, he's just, I think, trying to figure out how much of your account are you risking?
Oh, yeah, that's probably what set me apart from a lot of people, man. I'm crazy, bro. Not literally because I graduated top of my class, but like as far as taking risks, man, I'm just a big doer, man. You can sit around, scared money doesn't make money. And I'm not saying that people should just throw money, you know what I'm saying, have a pissing contest, just see who can throw that burning money up the quickest, because I definitely don't believe in that. I don't believe in just blowing money or whatever, but at the same time, I would say that it just depends on how clear I see my position, how clear I see the trade that I want, the setup and everything. If I know that it's going to go 10 times out of 10, then I'm going to go ahead and maybe put $100 behind that, $50 behind that. But if I'm just testing the waters with something, I'm maybe seeing if this is a clear retracement or whatever, breakthrough or whatever, then I might, you know, I might keep it at a few cents or whatever, or $10, like whatever the minimum is, that's what I'm going to keep it at.
Right.
I hate losing money, man. I do not go to the casino. I just can't see how people like losing money. I hate it.
I hear you, man. So would you say every time that you go in the market to take a trade, you know, your confidence level on that position varies, right? So sometimes it looks like a way better trade, and sometimes you're kind of like, oh, this is a 50-50 shot. It's a hit or miss, right?
Yeah.
And so do you feel now, after spending, you know, more time in the charts, I mean, you're still, you know, a beginner, dude. Like, you just got started a couple weeks ago, so you got tons to learn, you know, tons of potential profit to make, you know, you're still going to have losses and all that, but it seems like you understand, you know, that concept. It's just about keeping the wins bigger than the losses. But do you feel that putting all that time in, you know, outside of the oil field, has allowed you to have the confidence that you have now taking these trades? And that's why you're able to have so much success only being a couple weeks into trading.
Oh man, I owe all my success to the confidence, and the confidence comes from learning the skills. Like the more and practice, also you can learn all this, but if you don't apply, if you let excuses keep you from applying what you learning and you practicing, then what are you practicing and what are you learning this stuff for? But like yeah, man, the more time I put into it, it's like the easier it's becoming for me.
Right. And so when you're taking those positions, I'm assuming varying on the confidence that you have in the trade that you're taking, do you normally like stack trades? So the question was, do you stack trades with the same pair rather than just place a higher lot size?
Yeah, because man, that go back to what you was saying, kind of from what when we was having a conversation a few days ago about me being all in on the trade instead of taking portions of my closing out portions of my trade. That goes back to that. That falls up under that umbrella. But I stack them because it depends on how confident I feel about which way the market is going to go. If I feel like, hey man, it's about to take off in either direction, then yeah, I'll stack some and then I'll exit. Based on the profit or based on if I'm losing or whatever stuff. It depends on how much I'm willing to lose or risk. That's what it basically depends on.
Right. Gotcha. So I just got one more question for you, man. It's from Danica, and then we'll head out. So the PDF that you sent Danica, are you using the MW strategy?
Oh yeah, man, I can't even type fast enough, man. My inbox been going crazy since I got my hands on that PDF, but pretty much that's all I'm using. Like I took the time to actually, I probably had to reread certain sentences sometimes until they clicked in my head. But it's like that made me look at the market from a different angle. And I put on you got the different caps. You got the employer and the self-employed. You got the business owner. The different caps. I took off the retail traders hat and I put on the market makers hat. And I had to look at the market from their angle, their point of view, to see how they do things and how they function in the market. And using the M and W strategy, it showed me that you can see if you just zoom out on your charts, no matter the time frame, you see basically these two things. And sometimes if I don't feel like putting in the criticalness, the technicalities behind setting up all that, the indicators and everything, and just diving deep into that stuff, that route, I'll just take the MW route. That's usually what I take sometimes, depending on what I'm doing at that moment.
Yeah, and I don't really know specifically what the MW strategy is because I don't really trade that with that or anything. But what I do want to talk about is it's not just one thing that works in the market. You can use multiple different things that work. It's just about using the right tools at the right time, and you'll never know those tools unless you actually put in the time and the charts, learn the terminology, all that stuff. But once you get to the point, I have a trading plan, but I don't take the same trade every single day. It's always a different trade based off of a different pattern, structure, all that stuff. And it seems like it's the same way for you. And I want everyone to understand that as well, that it'll never be, the M&W strategy that's going to work for every single trade. It's something you can look for, but you always want to have an understanding of the market as a whole, and you want to pull from the things that are happening, pull from the things to apply in the market as they're happening.
Right. It's like it's a process. Everybody that's listening to this call right now, it's a process, man. You can't. It's not like I'm skipping any steps or anything in the process. I'm just putting in the time, and I'm getting through the process a lot quicker than maybe the average person is, because I know this is something that I'm passionate about, and it's like I know, hey, man, I got to get through this to get to the other side, and that's what I'm willing to do. So it's like you're not skipping, like you said, Jeffrey. If I don't see one thing, then I've learned something else to be able to look for. But if I haven't learned that, then I wouldn't know what to look for.
Yep, exactly, man. And always remember too, that a loss is never, a failure. A loss is always a lesson. And that's one thing that has stuck with me in my trading, and that has really helped me grow as a trader, because any loss I take now, any loss we take in the signal group, anything like that, I go and I break that pair down from start to finish, and I figure out why I had that loss. I figure out if it was an emotional factor. Did I feel like I needed to send a signal to you guys so it caused me to, force a trade? I factor everything in, and I want to know why I took that loss. And if you guys start doing that in your trading, I mean, I can't even explain to tell you how much your trading will change. But always recognize that your losses are your lessons and they're not failures. With that being said, though, Alexio, I don't really have anything else, man, for you. And again, I do appreciate your time. I appreciate all you guys for coming out and joining this call today. Did you have anything that you want to say real quick before you go, Alexio?
Man, I just want to say, man, everybody just keep up the good work, man. I'm just proud to be a part of a group of so many motivational people, man. It's like so everybody we know, no matter what country we live in or what part of the world we're in, there's a lot of negativity going on. So it's just good to be a part of something that's positive for a change, and we can take the positivity that we learn from each other and we get from each other and spread it to the people that's in our communities. And it's just a good thing, man, to be a part of.
Exactly, man. And I really appreciate that, because that's what I want to build. I want to have, a group of traders that are profitable, that are simply able to, they can educate others if they want to educate others, or they can, just teach people a new way to make money. It's not about, working that job or whatever. And, you're from Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana. I know you understand that that lifestyle there is a particular way. You get out of school or you don't go to college and you work in the plant, and then that's your life. And so many people follow those patterns in different parts of the world. And, they feel that there's this set way for them. But the truth is, like, we got to make our own path and create the life that we want. And my goal is to help as many people possible with this group, you know, to just allow them to finally be able to feel, I guess, like freedom, you know, because like there is no freedom until you actually are making, like if you can make $10,000 in a week from sitting in your bedroom, there's no better feeling than that in the world, guaranteed.
Oh yeah, man. Today I think it was some type of high impact news came out this morning or whatever. This was my first off day from the oil field, and shoot, anybody that know anybody that work in the oil field, you know how it takes a toll on your body. So I really didn't even have any energy to get out the bed. I woke up and my Telegram had a lot of notifications, so I said, "Let me see what's going on." Jumped in, seen that there was some high impact news going on. Looked at the market. I was like, "Man, let me jump in this market." 7 a.m. like I said. And man, I made like $3,300, man, in 1 hour,
Hell
probably
yeah,
like
man.
58 minutes, and I got out, man. And knowing me, I broke one of my rules. I got greedy, man, so I done gave back probably $600 today. But hey, man, I learned.
Hey,
I learned.
you learned, and it's part of the game. You know what I mean? There's a lesson that you could take away from that, and that was, you know, just don't go back in the market once you've already had, you know, 60 pips or however many pips that $3,300 trade was. Just chill after that, you know. And
Right.
it all comes with experience, man. It's just it's a time thing, but it's awesome to hear, you know, the success that you've had so far. And I look forward to helping you more, man. And I want everybody in this group to be seeing profits like Alexio, man. That's the goal.
Oh
So
yeah, man. This the best industry to be in. I'm 27. I wish I would have knew this years ahead of time, and I'd be somewhere where I want to be at right now. But you know, it's not a race; it's a marathon. So we all got the same goals, and it don't matter the time that it takes to reach them. As long as we reach them and we taking the necessary steps towards reaching them. And like, man, if anybody think they'd rather go to work than do this, make money from their phone or their internet, their laptop, I don't know, man. They crazy, bro. I don't even use the laptop, man. I had to go borrow somebody's laptop because I thought we was going to do this call on the computer. But it's crazy, man. When I tell people I made this money from my phone strictly.
yeah, that's actually we'll go ahead and end the call with that. I just want to just let everyone understand this. Alexio doesn't have a computer. He's using his phone to make all this money. That's wild. That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll save that for another chat, though, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely want to hop on with you again, and we'll do another one of these. So again, man, just thank you so much for your time and everything that you've been able to share with you guys today. And if you need anything, or if any of you guys need anything, please reach out to me directly in the group, however you want, and I'll help you with whatever you're struggling with. And I'm sure Alexio would be more than happy to help with anything if you guys had any questions for him. So with that being said, guys, that is it for today. And Alexio, thank you again, man. And you guys have a good one.
No problem.
After this track, I might need me some lozenges. I ain't about to go soft. This rapping shit lately been pissing me off. Guess these words are kinda just at the tip of my tongue. But I'm still young and I hope I find the rhymes that'll live through time before that fat lady has sung. Cause when I'm inside this booth, feels like I rule the world. But I'll hop off my horse, hop in your Porsche, give it a